Coming up, the Communications Center is hiding a journalism gem. And later, the Bongo app will soon be replaced.
Last night, women's basketball ran Clemson out of Carver, and Iowa City seems to be running on Duncan. Stick around for sports to find out more.
Will we get any winter temperatures in the coming days? Stay tuned for weather to find out.
All that and more coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Noah Gowdy. The University of Iowa Communications Center is set to be demolished in the spring of 2020. Its demolition will uncover a time capsule placed beneath the building's floorboards more than half a century ago. The Communications Center formerly housed both the Journalism School and the Daily Iowan. The time capsule will be opened 33 years earlier than originally planned because of the scheduled building demolition. The Communications Center is being taken down due to poor construction, insulation, and asbestos. The time capsule was hidden in 1953 and is said to contain manuscripts, equipment items such as film and tape, and a movie script. Former School of Journalism professor Edward Mason stated that the contents of the time capsule provide an interesting and meaningful picture of the mass media world of 1953 for the communications professions of 2053. The demolition crews plan to hand the unopened capsule off to the Journalism School after its recovery. Users navigating the CAN bus system will now have a new option to track the location of buses. Transit, an app that allows users to access bus routes, arrival predictions, and GPS tracking, will replace Bongo, the previous campus app. According to Mia Brunelli, operations manager for CAN bus, switching to Transit was easier than making improvements to the current app. Some of the major complaints that users had with Bongo were the lack of notifications, incorrect running times, and faulty GPS. According to Brunelli, the new app is free to use, has an improved user interface, and can access bus routes in other cities. The Bongo app will still be available through June 2020, at which point Brunelli said CAN bus will evaluate if the app is still useful. And the weather has been very weird. It's been almost like fall temperatures here in December. Let's toss it over to Claire in the weather studio to find out what this next week is looking like. Claire?
That is right, Noah. The moderate temperatures will be sticking around, but this morning we have some sun with a temperature of 30 degrees. As the day continues, temperatures will reach a high of 53 before falling back down to 39 degrees this evening. Tonight, you can expect partly cloudy skies. As we take a look ahead into this weekend, anticipate some nice temperatures in the coming days. To start the weekend, we will have partly sunny skies with a high of 39 and a low of 24. Saturday will be nice with plenty of sun. It will be a high of 44 and a low of 35. Closing out the weekend, temperatures will rise and it will be cloudy with a high of 50 and a low in the upper 30s. We will start next week with some rain as there is a 40% chance of showers with a high in the upper 30s and a low in the teens. So Hawkeyes, be sure to enjoy the weather this weekend. Noah, back to you.
Thanks, Claire. Beginning December 23rd, the Iowa Memorial Union parking office will be permanently closed and relocated to the West Campus Transportation Center. The IMU parking ramp has been open since 1969. The parking and transportation office opened shortly after in 1972. However, a recent evaluation from parking services showed that less than 4% of financial transactions occurred at the IMU location. According to Aaron Shane, Parking and Transportation Associate Director, the decrease in transactions occurred because, quote, most of our services for payment or enrollment in our programs are offered online. We've seen a significant decline in the amount of in-person service requests at the IMU office and has reduced the need for 2 locations, end quote. In a memorandum to campus partners, Lori Scoff, the manager of parking services for the UI, states that the West Campus Transportation Center was designed to provide all of the parking and transportation amenities customers needed. According to Shane and Scoff, the goal behind the transition is to better serve the UI community. The State Board of Regents will soon convene to consider the University of Iowa's proposed public/private partnership. The partnership would entail a private firm operating and maintaining the university's utilities for 50 years. The private partner would also pay the UI an upfront lump sum, which would then be placed into an endowment. Lastly, the university would pay the firm an annual fee to operate the utility system. The University of Iowa will not be selling nor leasing the utility system, according to the University of Iowa Iowa President Bruce Harold. Harold also stated that he believes this pursuit could generate resources that the UI would use to fund programs that support efforts such as boosting retention and graduation rates. The regents will meet next Tuesday to consider approving the agreement with the private firm. And I heard there was an exciting game last night over at Carver Hawkeye. Let's toss it over to sports to find out more.
That's right, Noah. Just last night, Iowa women's basketball took on Clemson as a part of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. With a final score of 74-60, the Hawks sealed a win over the Tigers. It was a close contest throughout the game, with the score tied 4 times and lead changing twice. But once Iowa warmed up the chemistry between the team, it started to flow. Iowa seemed to figure out how to play against Clemson's zone defense and share the ball, getting a total of 28 assists.
Tonight it was fun to be able to recognize both her and Hannah before this game. And then after that, you forget about it. You know, it's like you see her walk out. It's weird seeing her orange today and purple, ugly colors. And then, you know, she goes down the end of the bench and she sits there and you kind of forget about it after that.
Last night was not only a big win for Iowa, but a special night for the Hawkeye family, as former player Tiana Davis made her return to Carver as an assistant coach for Clemson, was honored with a Big Ten championship ring before the game. With more of last night's game in women's basketball, beat reporter Dallas Jones has more. You can catch the Hawks traveling into enemy territory as they take on Iowa State on December 7th.
The Hawkeyes' trip to Puerto Rico looks to have paid off, as the Hawkeyes showed great chemistry on the court and operated efficiently on offense. This year in the Big Ten ACC Challenge, the Iowa Hawkeyes emphasized passing, most importantly, down low to Monica Sonano. Finishing inside and rebounding on the other end were 2 huge areas for the Hawkeyes. After the game, Coach Bluter seemed very pleased with what she saw.
We were still able to get the ball into Monica. Monica had a tremendous game, career high, 7 rebounds. I also thought Amanda played really well, almost a double-double. So our in-state game was outstanding.
Even though Olinger and Sonano were finishing down low, it was the job of the other players to make sure the ball had a chance to get down there in the first place.
I mean, I think a lot of the times when the ball got inside, it was because the guards had some amazing passes. There was some behind the back of the defender passes, some bullets that they're just high IQ basketball passes. So, I mean, I think the guards just did a really good job finding the post throughout this entire game.
If it keeps resulting in wins, let's hope the Hawks keep it up. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, this is Dallas Jones, DITV.
In the latest news for Hawkeye football, it seems that Iowa City is running on Duncan. Keith Duncan has been named one of the 3 finalists for the annual Lou Groza Collegiate Place Kicker Award. Duncan is walking away from the season with a total of 29 field goals, setting not only a school and Big Ten record, but his 29 field goals also proved to be the 6th most in all of NCAA history for a single season. It is clear to see Duncan has proved he earned his way to the top, but now it is all up to the fans. Fans, you can vote online at the lougrozaaward.com/19 finalists, and the voting closes tonight at midnight. I don't know about you, Noah, but the Duncan campaign is one I can actually get behind on. That's all the time we have for you today, but tune in tomorrow for exciting updates on men's basketball and wrestling. Back to you at the desk, Noah.
The highly anticipated sequel to Disney and Pixar's 2013 hit animation film Frozen has only been out for 2 weeks and is already making waves. Frozen 2 brought over $123 million over the weekend, making it the highest grossing Thanksgiving ticket sales in history. The film replaced 6-year record holder Hunger Games: Catching Fire, which came in only slightly over $100 million. Frozen 2 is nearing $1 billion in sales globally, placing itself high above its competition. And that's all we have for you on this Thursday morning edition of DITV News. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on stands now. For DITV News, I'm Noah Gowdy. Have a great day, Iowa City.